This right here is me, and there is nothing I love more than human-powered adventures. If it's human-powered, I am all for it. And that leads me to today. I am at John O'Groats in Scotland. Why, you might ask? Well, 950 miles away from this sign is Land's End. This is the furthest distance between 2 points on the UK map. And I am going to attempt to complete this journey on a kick scooter. No battery, no help, just one push at a time until I've made it to Land's End, 950 miles away.
Well, here we go then. Day one of scooting the entire length of the UK. Starting off in a headwind. I have no idea what to expect from this trip. I have no idea how many miles I'm going to be able to do each day. The weather's not looking great for at least for the first week, but we'll just deal with all that as it comes and keep pushing our way. Now from John O'Groats I am heading towards the flow country for some lovely gravel, but got to do about 30 or so miles until I get there, and it's mostly uphill and I've got a headwind which I'm sort of like a sail is a little bit harder. Now, as always with these trips, I don't really train for them. I like to experience it as a whole new thing, and scootering is a whole new thing. I've got to get better at scooting with both legs, and by the end of this trip I wonder how good I will be with my left foot pushing. Have a bit of pushing experience from longboarding, but only on one leg. It is a bit easier to do two legs on a scooter, but it does feel unnatural. Right, uphill, and got a little bit of a descent coming up, which is nice because descending on this thing is fun. But just hoping to get at least over to the flow country. Let's go.
Up until this point, I'd ridden this scooter a whopping 3 times, twice before I left for this trip, no more than 5 miles at most, and then yesterday as I scooted my way from Thurso to John O'Groats. And let me tell you, when I arrived at John O'Groats yesterday, I thought to myself, this is going to be one long adventure. So starting out uphill and into the wind was not exactly filling me with much confidence. But I just have to keep pushing into the long Scottish roads. There was no turning back now.
I've just hit the 20-mile mark, just over 20 miles. I can tell you what now, definitely feel it in my legs. I am sort of still gradually climbing and into a headwind, so there is that. I think the real mind over matter thing is my perspective is normally on a bike. I'm like riding along on this road. If I was on a bike I'd be going like 15 to 20 miles an hour, but on a scooter I'm going about 8. So I think after a few days hopefully my perspective will change a bit of what is fast, what is slow on a scooter, because right now everything obviously just feels quite slow unless I'm going really downhill. But yeah, 20 miles done, about another 10 or so until I get off-road into the flow country. Just looking forward to getting there and getting off-road, having some fun off-road. I have no idea how many miles I'm going to plan to do today, because once I do get through the flow country, there is quite a nice longish pushy descent, so we'll see. But yeah, 20 miles done. Legs are okay, but starting to feel it.
With my first 30 miles covered ever on this scooter, I could certainly feel it in my calves. Scootering across the country wasn't only going to be a challenge, it was going to take some time for the body to adapt. But that's what I love about throwing myself into the unknown, seeing just how the body does indeed adapt. And the one thing I was noticing at first, scootering is thirsty work.
Windy, so windy.
With the wind making my first day even harder, I started to head into the remote expanse of the flow country, the largest expanse of blanket bog in Europe. In between that bog though, endless gravel and endless fun.
It's like being at home, back on the gravel. This time, no pedals, just pushing along. It's so nice. So I've done 35 miles. It's coming up to 1 PM. Days are getting shorter now, so gets dark around like, I think 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. Got to try and make sure I'm always in a place to camp. I don't really want to ride at night. I can, I've got lights and stuff, but if I can avoid it, then I won't. But I think I should be able to get through all of this gravel. And I've got a slight little incline, and I've got a nice, long, gradual downhill, and then one big climb towards the A9. But I'm trying to avoid the A9 as much as possible this time, because obviously I'm a bit slower. I can't be bothered to deal with drivers, so that's why I'm going over a big hill. But it's great fun, good temperature as well, it's not hot, and it's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I love it, so good.
When I had this idea to scoot my way across the entire length of the UK, I'd imagined this moment. This moment of scootering across the flow country's endless gravel. On a bike, this place feels big. On a scooter, it feels like something else entirely. The flow country feels endless. Every single push feels tiny in comparison.
I think I've done about 50 miles, or just under 50 miles. So it's good going. Pretty happy with that. Get to the 50 mark at least. I'm going to do a few more though, so maybe 60. I think 60 for sure actually. There's a few drizzly bits of rain in the air at the moment. I've got a slight bit of a climb, but then it's nice and downhill for a good few miles, so I'll be able to get some easy miles in, and hopefully stay dry, because I've only got like a few hours until the sun sets. I'm just gonna ride until I'm doing that climb. Hopefully I can get up and over, because I'm pretty sure there's some good camp spots up on top of that hill. But for now, pork pies. Not gonna stop for too long. Not stopping for long. I just looked at the weather, and the big rain cloud is coming my way, and it's going to be all night, so I'm going to try and find somewhere to camp if I can as soon as possible. Try and get dry, try and get into camp dry. Should have stopped up where I was, but it's drizzling now. If I can get up this climb and start making a descent, I should hopefully be able to find somewhere, even if it's not where I was planning.
A few moments later.
I was never going to outrun that, was I? Well and truly on top of me now. Oh well. Just keep going. I've even put the waterproof trousers on.
With the rain catching me, after what was shaping up to be a nice end to a first day on the scooter, I would now find myself looking for somewhere to shelter. The problem? Well, everywhere around me was pretty much still bog, and with the rain getting heavier and heavier, the size of the raindrops golf ball sized, I'd have to keep pushing, quite literally. I must have looked completely out of place scootering through here, because I was offered a lift to the next town, but that was never an option. I was determined to push my way the whole 950 miles.
Oh my god. Alright, I've done 60. Try and get you so you can see me. Right. So I've done 60 miles. I'm pretty happy with that. It's about 6 PM. Now, yeah, it's not stopped raining since it started, and it's looking like it's not going to stop all night. I just randomly saw this little hut. I thought, what's the chances it's just going to be locked? It'll just be, I don't know what it'll be. It's not like a bovvy or anything, but it was bound to be locked. So I come up to it, and I see a padlock on it. I'm like, so I start to turn back, but then I just have this thing. Let me just look closer to that padlock. And it wasn't actually locked. And that brings me into this little hut. Sort of drying everything over there. You probably can't see, it's all dark. I think it's like, for like the fishermen. A little thing up there saying, I don't know, rod fishers. So I guess it's like a little shelter for fishermen. So hopefully no fishermen out there today. Can't see any, haven't seen any, so hopefully they're not going to come, because I am going to hide in here. I'm probably like, God, I'm so tired. I'm probably like 15 miles away from Helmsdale. Now I'm not actually going to Helmsdale on this trip, but it's kind of down the road. I'm going to cut across, but yeah, I think I'm going to just stop while there's shelter. And yeah, 60 miles, pretty happy with that, to be honest. Didn't know what to expect, and I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'll be doing 60 miles every day. I don't know if it'll be some more, some less. I think as the days go on, I'll sort of get into the routine of, all right, it's going to probably be 50 miles, it's going to be 60 miles, I don't know. But yeah, this weather, yeah, that was tough. It's not too bad when you get to go downhill. But even the ones that, it's only the ones that are really downhill that you really speed up, otherwise you still got to keep pushing. Yeah, 60 miles, day 1 done. See you in the morning. Hopefully I can get a bit of sleep in here. There's not much to lay on, but it'll do. It's better than finding a camp spot out in that rain. See you in the morning. Wow, good morning. Good morning. Do you know what? I'm so happy that I found that little shed there last night, because camping out in that last night would have been pretty horrific. The rain didn't stop until probably about an hour ago. It's currently 7. It started at like 3 p.m. yesterday and it's only just stopped. Not only was the rain just pretty heavy, the wind got up to some crazy speeds as well, because even in that shed I could feel it shaking. But it's day 2, my legs feel like they've done 60 miles on a scooter, and I'm heading over towards like the A9 at the moment, but I've got a little bit more of this nice sort of gradually downhill road, then we've got the big climb, and then a nice long descent down to the A9, and then hopefully you'll be able to stock up on some food, have some breakfast and stuff, and hopefully stay dry. I mean, there's some very dark, gloomy clouds in the sky at the moment, but as of now it's not raining and there doesn't seem to be any wind. So let's see what day 2 has in store for us, scootering across the UK. This is day 2. Let it commence.
Day 2, and after my first real taste of scootering 60 miles yesterday, it was nice to be starting in the dry. My legs felt, wow, like they'd scooted 60 miles. A little tight, a little tired. But that was something I'd need to get used to, and fast, because over 900 miles still stood in my way. And today, I would need to make my way up and over quite a big climb. But with the sun making its appearance, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The sun took my mind off the climbing, and I just got lost in my surroundings. It was a beautiful morning.
I think a little bit of hiker scooter is in order. I'm so glad I'm doing this in this weather and not how it was yesterday evening. Look at it out here, it's absolutely stunning. Sun blinding me. Clouds are kind of going that way, the ones we don't want to see. And over there where I'm going, blue skies kind of. Just gotta get to the top of this climb, and then the descent from here is really nice, because it is like a road, but it's a very quiet road. Should be able to get some good speed. Look at it, it's stunning.
Getting to the top of this climb required some pushing, and pushing. But this morning just kept getting more and more beautiful, and I could see for miles upon miles. And reaching the top, I would get the views of the road I was about to descend. miles of downhill, all alone, and a chance to get some speed. And oh my, did this descent raise my heart rate. Nothing like going 30 miles an hour on a scooter.
I'm on A9 now. I've got a few miles, about 4 miles until I turn off of it, and then there should be a shop, so try and get some breakfast. Good old peaches for breakfast. Peaches in a tin. Some grapes. And some oat and raisin cookies. I will actually come through through Goldsby pretty soon. So I'll probably stop there as well. Just a brief stop there. Quick breakfast. Can't really eat much, don't really feel hungry, but we're back on the A9 for about 6 miles to Goldsby, and then that's pretty much the A9 done, or the busy part. The annoying thing is it's really bloody windy again, and it's a headwind, so it really slows you down. But just keep pushing on and we'll get there. And also it looks like today will be similar to yesterday, from about 2 p.m. and then it says rain, and then all through the night rain. So when I get to Goldsby, I'll have a look where I'll sort of try and figure out roughly where I can camp early, so I have to figure it out when it's wet if I can. Right, Goldsby. Next stop, Goldsby. Tailwind. Shit, we've got to turn around. 6 miles to Goldsby, 58 to Inverness.
Seeing the first sign for Inverness was a nice feeling. It felt like I was making progress, even if sometimes it felt like slow progress. And pushing this scooter along the A9 wasn't exactly the nicest place. But it did make me kick hard, and soon enough I'd arrive at Goldsby.
Right, made it to Goldsby. It wasn't too bad actually. Got here quite quick. And although I don't really feel like I can eat that much at the moment, I'm going to force myself to, because I'm probably not going to get a chance to stop while it's dry for the remainder of the day. So if I don't eat now, I might end up being very hungry, very tired and miserable when it's raining. So I've got a bit of hot food, got some sausage and bean and cheese slice, we've got some meal deal pasta and some samosa and a smoothie shaky thing. Yeah, all good. So far today, not even midday, 25 miles done. Pretty happy with that. The hill we climbed this morning, coming down it, was raising my heart rate. It was a little bit scary, going over 30 miles an hour, stood up in that position, but it was fun. But yeah, now, at least from now, I get a nice cruise along the sea and then around Loch Fleet. It's a little bit quieter, and yeah, I've got the sort of busy-ish A9 part out of the way now. Just hopefully I can miss the rain, would be nice. I don't know. So it's about 50-ish miles now into Inverness. So hopefully tomorrow we'll make it to Inverness. Let's have some food.
I love this little corner of Scotland, and after forcing some food down, I would start to make my way along the coastline and around Loch Fleet, enjoying some quiet trails through the forest, a welcome break from the busier A9. Today I was really starting to feel like I was getting into the swing of things, and today was just a great day of scootering.
Just like clockwork, it begins. 1:30 and the rain starts. I've broken this route up into 100-mile segments, apart from the last one obviously, which is about 50 miles. I'm just about to start the second one, so that means I've done about 100 miles and I've got about 850 to go. Done about just under 40 miles so far today, so I'll see what I can do. Definitely feeling much more comfortable today on the scooter, like pushing, switching feet, so that's good. Legs feel a bit tired, like in the calves, it really hits you in the calves scootering. But yeah, into the rain we go. Happy days.
It was very much like deja vu, a carbon copy of yesterday evening. This time though, I needed to get quite a few more miles covered. Even if I wanted to, there wasn't going to be much choice for shelter, as I would be heading off-road and up into the forest tracks. The steep terrain meant there were times where I'd have to hike. Even when I could push, the wet ground made it increasingly hard to actually put any power down, as my shoes would just slide off the wet rocks. This was turning into a battle of willpower to keep moving forward. However slow I would be going, stopping just wasn't an option. Not out here, not with weather like this.
Right, another record set. You're just going to keep getting steamy. 64 miles today. Oh my god, what another day. Smashed it. But just gone past Elnes. How do you pronounce it? I'm so dead today. There was a slight break in the rain, which I'm not sure there'll be one tomorrow, because apparently a storm Amy or something is on its way. Of course, wouldn't be a Keysman adventure without a named storm. But yeah, 64 miles today. I've just managed to get the tent set up. As you can hear, it's hammering it down. Everything's all damp and minging. but I'm warm, I'm dry-ish, and I'm going to enjoy a good night's sleep. Hopefully we'll get some dry days on this trip, but let's take it day by day. It's like 124 miles total so far today. Tomorrow we'll get towards Inverness, and we got some climbing to do as we head over to the Cairngorms. Let's hope the weather gets better before I go through the Cairngorms, because last time I went through the Cairngorms there was a named storm too, so there's always a sea bright and early in the morning. Whew. Day 2, good one. Good night.
This storm on the way, Storm Amy, our first named storm of the season.
Storm Amy, and that is expected to hit the British Isles as we head through Friday into Saturday, and it is expected to pack a punch.
Good morning, good morning. Joining me on day 3 in Storm Amy, apparently. Managed to shelter quite nicely, and amazingly I woke up with a dry tent as well, because it's been so windy. The rain's kind of just been going over me, and the wind's been kind of hitting me a little bit, and my tent was nice and dry, which is really cool when you wake up in a storm with a dry tent. That's a win. It's looking like it's going to be a very tough day though. By the looks of it, it's going to be a headwind, and the wind is brutal. When I got into the camp last night, it wasn't actually windy, it was just rainy, so I was like, right, quickly get the tent up so I can get dry. It'd been a little bit dry for about 30 minutes, so it started to dry off, so I was like, yeah, get in the tent. And then as soon as I got in the tent, talk to you guys, put the camera down, the wind just started battering the tent, so I had to quickly get out and just make sure it was all completely staked out really good. And I was getting battered directly from the wind for about an hour. I was just sort of like, hold on, but the tent stood up, everything was fine, and then eventually it was still coming at me, but it was kind of going over, so that was good. Yeah, yesterday did 64 miles. I'm currently on my way towards Dingwall, forgotten the name of it already, and then across to Inverness. Now today I was really hoping that I would be able to get across to the Cairngorms. But this is going to be one of these days where I'm just gonna, it might just be like, do 10 miles and just find somewhere for shelter. I might be able to do more. It's really going to depend on that wind. If the wind's pushing me, I think the Cairngorms is definitely on the cards, but by the looks of it, at least for the first bit, as I go that way, it's going to be a headwind. And a headwind pushing a scooter, it's brutal. But day 3. Let's go see what it's not raining currently, or it's at least not in this little woods that I'm in, but I'm sure it will rain very soon. By the looks of it over there, it's already raining, and it looks like it's going to rain for most of the day, all the way towards the Cairngorms. See what today has in store for us. Let's go. Day 3, let's go.
Leaving my tent this morning was a bit eerie. I had heard Storm Amy all through the night. The wind howling through the trees, branches cracking and crashing down around me. And this morning, in this slight gap from the storm, this calmness, I could see the aftermath. Fallen trees, debris scattered everywhere from the night before. In the opposite direction, it looked calm, almost peaceful. But where I was going, it was looking anything but. Dark clouds were rolling in, the wind was picking up again, and I knew I was heading straight into whatever Storm Amy had left for me.
Wow, we're not going to be setting any records today. I've done about 5 miles, and that's all I'm going to do. I was going to push on to Inverness, but it is grim out here, and the hotels in Inverness are really expensive, so I'm getting a hotel here in Dingwall for tonight at least. Hopefully most of it will pass. I think it will still be raining tomorrow, but at least I can regroup, get everything dry, and have a shower, and then keep going again tomorrow. And hopefully most of the storm and the winds will have died down at least. But now I've got to wait around until 3 PM to check in. So I'm going to go find a little coffee shop or something and just warm up and hide away for hours. Just had some little breakfast. All that hard work to do 2 days of 60 miles to be left with 1 day of 5. Oh well, regroup and let's go find some coffee. Well, I managed to get a hotel, and shout out to the Waverley Inn in Dingwall. My phone just fell. Because it's 11:30 and they've allowed me to get in. Normally check-ins are like 3 PM, and I was just like sitting in Tesco cafe trying to warm up, and they said, yeah, come along. Told them what I was doing. They were like, yeah, come on in an hour. Nice. So now I've got a bit of a respite until tomorrow. Now I don't think the weather's going to be that great tomorrow, but I think the day after it's going to start getting a bit better, because tomorrow I'm going to attempt to get across to the Cairngorms. If I can do that, and then the next day I'll be going over the Cairngorms, which I don't really want to be doing when it's pissing down with rain. If you watched me bikepacking across the Cairngorms, you'll remember how brutal it can get out there. So if it's not raining at least then it could be a little bit more enjoyable. And I think as long as I can get there tomorrow, then the next day should be good. Now I get to chill out, have a shower, dry in all my stuff, and just chill for the rest of the day. Yesterday was a record-breaking day of 64 miles. Today, not so much. I've done about 5. The easiest day for sure of probably this whole trip. But yeah, hopefully the wind will die down a bit tomorrow. Sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. And yeah, that's 5 miles. I think I probably could have got to Inverness today, but yeah, hotels are really expensive over there. So I am just going to chill in this lovely little hotel room. It's actually not that little, it's quite big. And I'll see you bright and early in the morning. That was a very short day and a very miserable one. But it's nice to feel warm, feel my hands. And oh yeah, I'll probably have about 4 more showers before tomorrow. Hopefully we can at least start in the dry, but tomorrow, if we can get through tomorrow and get across to the Cairngorms, then after that, at least I've got potentially 1 dry day. It is uphill to the Cairngorms though. See you bright and early in the morning.